Hello and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. My name is Andre Ostgaard, better known as Andrea Noruega. I am currently 27 years old and for the time being I live in Norway. I have been living in Brazil before to follow football basically, as I'm a big Santos fan. Today I'm going to be talking about the question I get asked the most by people, and that's why are you a fan of Santos, a club in Brazil on the other side of the world, and how did that begin? So basically, it all began very early, to be honest. When I was younger, I had an uncle who lived in Brazil, in the town of Itu, just outside of Sao Paulo. I went to visit him 2 times when I was younger, actually, and at the time he was a Santos supporter. I didn't know that at the time, but when I was visiting him there with my family, I think I was like 8 years old. It was the year 2000, 2001, something like that. I bought this thing just because I thought it was cool. It's like a Rastafari guy with the football and the Santos logo. I just bought it because the logo was, I thought it looked cool. And yeah, I went home, never thought more about that team until 2011, and I always had a love for Brazil as a country. So I started watching Brazilian football. So one day I was watching the Copa Libertadores. It's the South American equivalent to the Champions League. And I was watching this team from Brazil, and I immediately thought this is something special. And of course everyone has heard about Santos, so I was very excited to watch this game and to see what the hype was all about. So you had very attacking, creative showman players like Neymar, Ganso, Alexandro, Danilo, Rafael Cabral, the goalkeeper, Aruca, Elano, not to mention. It was a fantastic team, and I just fell in love with this attacking, joyful football they were exhibiting every game. So I ended up following this team throughout the competition, rooting for them to win, and they did eventually win the tournament. A lot of crazy things happened. Neymar was dominating, playing fantastic football, and after this I started like giving some betting tips and stuff like that online, following Santos, trying to become like an expert on the team. I'm sitting here editing the video now. I actually sat up until 6:30 in the morning to edit this video. Notice how I forgot to mention two very important points about why I became a Santos fan. Of course, I love young talents. That's something I've always cared for, and Santos are one of the biggest producers of young great talent in the world, and of course with such joyful, fantastic attacking football, and they got a great history with that. Not to forget when Pele played, and that fantastic Santos side of 1962-63 when they won the World Cups. And then there's all those stories that when the Santos of Pele traveled around the world, everyone loved to watch them. That Santos team of Pele are actually the only team in the world to have stopped a war. At least that's how the story goes. And they have such a rich history, and that consistent development of young fantastic players for the Brazilian national team. You have Rodrigo, Neymar, Gabigol, Ganso, Robinho, Diego, Elano, Renato. And then you have the all-timers, the legends, Pepe, Pelé, Coutinho, Lima, Dorval, Mengalvio. There's so many. It's such a great talent factory, and it's not stopping, and there's a fantastic generation coming up now as well, so look out for that. I'm gonna make a whole different video on a lot of Santos talents coming up, so subscribe for that. I really hope you have enjoyed this video so far and that you will enjoy the rest of it. It turned out much longer than I thought, so sorry for that. Fast forward a few years, 2013, Neymar eventually got sold to Barcelona, everyone knows that. As part of the deal to bring Neymar from Santos to Barcelona, a game was supposed to be played between the two teams. So I tried to ask friends and everyone to join me to go watch this game in Camp Nou. Nobody wanted to go with me, to be honest. Can you believe that? That's crazy. When I'm gonna tell the rest of the story, you're gonna think, well, they lost out, because, well, they lost out big time. I just decided I have to go watch that game, to watch this Santos that I've been watching for 2 years now. Did not miss one game in that period. I stayed up until some of the games started at 5 to 3 in the morning, so I had to stay up watching the games, even though I had to go to school at 8 in the morning. So a little sleep, but it was all worth it, because I followed this team that I felt played fantastic, joyful football like nothing I'd ever seen before. 2013 comes around. I go to Barcelona to watch them live for the first time in my life, and I arrive in Barcelona. I went to a hotel just outside the city, so I quickly found out which hotel the players were staying at. So I didn't know anyone in Barcelona. I was not there to be a tourist, so I was there for Santos basically. So I went straight to their hotel, the Princess Sofia Hotel, some 500 meters from the Camp Nou, and I just stayed in the reception area of the hotel for like what must have been like 8 hours that day or something. I went in. First thing I saw when I went through the door was this huge man. It was the goalkeeper Aranya, and I was like, whoa, I know that guy. And I went to him, asked for a selfie, and I didn't know Portuguese at the time, so it was just like photo. And he was like with two security guards, and yeah, it was cool. So I just stayed in the lobby for the reminder of that day, and eventually some Santos supporters arrived, and I was just standing there. I didn't have a Santos shirt, nothing, so no one could know that I was a Santos fan, because when you live in Europe, it's impossible to actually buy Santos shirts or Brazilian football teams in general, at least at the time. So I just started hanging around the fans like a creep, and I didn't know the language, nothing, and they thought I was just like a random dude, which I was, but they didn't know that I also supported their team. I just asked some dude, hey, I'm Santos, English. Eventually they managed to find some guy, his name was Esli Giuliano, who spoke English. Then I explained the situation, I'm a Santos fan, blah 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 blah, and they all just immediately loved me, that it was like a guy from the ice cold Norway who was traveling to Barcelona to watch Santos play a game. So I stayed around with them the rest of that day, met all the players, everything, got a lot of autograph, selfies, whatever, with the players. You have like Gabigol was there, Neilton, Victor Andrade. It was like players that I idolized, who at the time were huge talents for Brazil. Neilton at the time was dubbed the new Neymar, and he was like this big thing. You had Victor Andrade, Giva, Gabigol, Gabriel Barbosa, by now. And I just, whoa, to me that was so huge. There's just one player who spoke English actually, and that was pretty low level as well. So I had like this Esli guy to do the translating. There was like this little kid with his mother there as well from Holland, and I helped them take some pictures with the players and tell this little kid who was like this big talent that he would want picture with for the future, because I did actually have like this tremendous control over this team, like I know everyone there because I was like a huge fanboy. Then we like the fans are drinking and stuff. I didn't drink as I was a bit shy and nervous. Fans told the TV station Globo, like the biggest news outlet in Brazil, who happened to be there, oh, this guy, he's a Santos fan from Norway. And I was, oh my god, I'm so shy. And of course they thought I was funny, so they were gonna record me reading the starting 11 from the last match, and there I am on the spot reading with a crowd of like 20 Santos fans, and to Globo I'm reading the Santos lineup, and everyone's so amazed that I'm like on the spot able to read the entire lineup. So that was funny, and they're singing. It was, yeah, I got a lot of good friends there. It was amazing. Fast forward to the game. We're going to the stadium. I had actually booked my tickets very, very early. I bought the best tickets I could, like front row on the left wing, so that I could see Neymar closing up front. That was like my big goal. So I called it like Neymar seats. We arrive at the stadium. All the fans are singing, the Santos fans, and we get separated because they are supposed to stay in like this place of the stadium, and I was supposed to be down at the pitch, like close to the pitch. And Santos, they're losing 8-0. And I was actually so thrilled and happy. No one believes me when I say that, but I was so happy because for the first time in my life I had seen my idols and basically my favorite team up close and personal for the first time. I saw Neymar run there, you have Messi, of course that's crazy enough by just that. But then you had like Neilton, Giva, Gabigol, Aruca, all these players that I know of Santos playing right in front of me, Leo, the legend. It was so fantastic. My phone died, so I couldn't take pictures of. I just had an iPad, so I was that guy with an iPad taking pictures. It must have looked so fucking ridiculous, but to me it was huge to finally see my idols live. After the game, I returned to the hotel and it's chaos. Total and utter chaos. The fans are not pleased, to say the least, with losing 8-0. The whole world was watching the game, and the fans felt just embarrassed. Basically, riots or close to riots at the player hotel. The fans were gonna attack the players, the staff. They had like some security guards, but it wasn't enough. Amongst all this chaos, fans are thrashing the players, screaming things. I didn't understand one word, and I was kind of scared because I was just a Norwegian kid with like some 20 years. Then in the middle of all this chaos, Leo, like a club legend, he played for Benfica as well, a left back, he just steps in, moves the fans aside from the players. Hey, listen to me. And he's like 160 tall or something like that. I'll never forget that. It was fantastic.
Certo, como que o cara recebe o gerente, o empresário dentro do hotel onde a delegação tá sendo hospedada, tá sendo clube, rapaz. A gente não é feira não, vocês jogadores, vocês não podem aceitar isso também. Vocês não podem aceitar
I was doing some recordings. I'll see if I actually can find some of those recordings and put in this video. I don't know, but I think it's on my old iPad. If I can find that.
8-0. Meu avô, meu pai, meu pai, tudo me trouxeram pra vila. 8-0 Parabéns! Eu sou do camarada do Santista, irmão.
Não é com vocês o problema. Acho que é doído pra gente. Pra gente é mais doído.
So all the players were arriving from the stadium, from the bus, one by one into the elevators. The elevators wouldn't open, so the players were just standing there so shy and scared, with all the fans screaming and shouting, and it was a mess. And I was just there happy. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's a good game. Oh, well played, saying these kind of things. I remember I told Neilton, oh, well played, mate. And he was just looking at me because he didn't speak English. I took a selfie with a few of them. Walter Montillo, he spoke English actually. He was the one I spoke about before. And the fans, demanded to have a meeting with the delegacy of Santos. So eventually, they managed that. They were gonna have a meeting with the vice president was there. I think the sporting director Leo was there. He was gonna represent the players, and it was I'd say 15 fans in a circle on the second level of the lobby, and I was there. I was invited along. I didn't understand one word what was said during the meeting, but it was a lot of shouting, screaming, and unhappy Brazilians. It was just pure chaos. And I managed to take I just had an iPad as I told before, so I just tried to take a picture of the meeting. And Leo, the player representative, he was screaming. He was furious with the board. Everyone, it was total mayhem, and the fans were debating that this match should have never been played. That Santos should know we would lose, we would get hammered here. It's a bad display, it's bad marketing. So that was that. Then you had this huge TV news down in the lobby trying to film up, and it was in the Brazilian press it's crisis at Santos. The fans are attacking players. The vice president, and I was just in the middle of that. I was the only one happy just because I had watched my team up close and in person for the first time. That trip was so crazy. I met all my idols. It was chaos. I got a lot of new friends, and at that moment I decided that okay, I am going to move to Brazil no matter what. So I started that day to save up money. Then in 2014, Brazil under 20 were going to play in a youth tournament in Valencia in Spain. Gabigol was my big idol at the time. He was going to represent Brazil. He's a Santos player at that tournament. So I decided I have to go there and support him. I had at that time 5 or 6 match-worn signed jerseys by him and some boots that I had obtained through some friends. I went there just to see him play for the national team under 20 in this tournament. I arrived there, rent a car, in a good hotel in the small town of Alcudia. I don't know, some few thousand people that live there. It's very, very small. And then after every game, there's a lot of kids that jump into the pitch to get autographs from the players. And I felt, okay, I have to do this as well to talk to Gabriel. And I go into the game. After the game is finished, I jump to Gabigol. It must have looked weird because I was the only person there that's taller than 150 for sure. Just kids. And I go to Gabriel and I said, Gabigol, I'm a big fan. And I said some few words in Portuguese, and he's like, oh, cool. And that I was a Santos fan, and I opened my bag and showed him all the shirts that I had, and he said, oh cool, I remember signing this, you got it from, and then he said the name of my friend. I was like, yeah. We took a selfie, and he actually ended up following me on Twitter, which I thought was huge. And I went to the rest of the games in that tournament. Gabigol ended up as the top scorer, even though he got a red card ridiculously in the semi-final and missed the final. But that was huge. I was traveling with this Brazilian flag, and I had written Gabigol 2016 as Gabigol will do good in the Olympics in 2016, 2 years later. He signed that, and he gave me his shin pads. Then the year after, in 2015, Santos itself would go play this tournament in Cotif, just outside Valencia, with their under 20 side. I thought, oh my god, this is a gift. So I have to go there. Again, I'm asking all my friends, no one wanted to go with me. But eventually my cousin says yes, so we go there together. After the first game, we're sitting in the stadium and we're rooting for Santos. Then the team manager notices us and he's like, why do we have fans here? And I speak to him in English. Luckily he spoke English. Pepinho Macia, it's the son of Pepe, who played with Pele. It's another Santos legend, and he's so happy to hear my story, that I'm a Santos fan, traveled so far just to support their under 20s side. He invites us to their hotel just after the game, so we go there, meet all the players, the staff, and we actually get invited to a dinner with the manager, goalkeeper coach, the physio, the doctor, with basically the staff of the team. We go to a dinner in Valencia. I am driving some of them in my car. My cousin has this Wi-Fi hotspot, and all these guys are like, "Oh, Wi-Fi guy, we need to connect to your Wi-Fi," because they want to be in WhatsApp with their family or whatever. So my cousin was walking around with like these ducks following him, basically. It looked so funny. We eat, it's so cool. They invite us to the training the next day, and after that we're basically in all the trainings. We're in the hotel, we're in the match with the team. It's a fantastic experience, and I get to know all the players of that current the Santos under-20s team. Then in 2016 I finally get enough money and I decide, okay, this is it. I'm buying a one-way ticket to Brazil. I'm gonna follow my team, I'm gonna follow Santos, and that's it. I'm at the airport in Norway. I have not even booked a hotel. I'm just going. I'm in the airport booking a hotel for just like a 1 week. I arrive in Santos. I don't know anyone. I'm just going to the hotel. I knew this guy from Twitter, Pedro Henrique, who was a journalist. The next day he takes me like sightseeing in the city of Santos, takes me to the stadium. The first thing I meet in the stadium is Lima. He was a Santos legend who played with Pele, and I take a picture with him. We take this tour around the stadium. It's great, and I can speak for hours about my time living in Brazil. I ended up living there for 7 months, got an apartment, stuff like that, but that's gonna be for another story. So let's jump through that for now. And I also got invited to the Santos president's office to have a meeting with him about like international marketing, stuff like that. And I got invited to the training center. I could come and go to the Santos trainings as I pleased, even though they're like normally locked. Let's speak more about that later. In 2017, I'm back in Norway, and I get the news that Santos are going to return to the Cotif tournament, the under-20s. So I have to go there. This time I'm going alone. I know the hotel they're gonna sleep at, so I stay at the same hotel. I go to the first game. I meet the new manager this time. His name is Arão. He's the son of Manuel Maria, who's the best friend of Pele. He played with Pele. So he's like also this Santos legend. He speaks English as well, but at this time I speak Portuguese, so there's no problem. So I communicate. I say that I traveled from Norway to support him, and they think it's so cool. He said, "Oh, come by our hotel later." And I was like, well, actually I am staying in the same hotel, and that's cool. So from that moment I do everything with the team. I turn part of the delegacy. So I'm their photographer in the trainings, I'm their private driver if they need anything, I'm helping them scouting future opponents, driving members of the staff to games, to watch games, to scout with them. I'm eating all meals with the team, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything with the team. I'm in the team meetings. I'm playing FIFA with the players. I'm actually invited to the cults of the players. It's like this sacred religious thing where they read from the Bible, listen to Christian songs in YouTube basically, and singing. The trainers and the staff are not invited to this thing. It's just the players, and I was invited, so that was huge for me. Then actually one of the players, Nicholas, he forgot his music box in the bus, and they have a game the next day, and you know, players, they need to get in their zone, so they need a new portable speaker. So one of the players, Emerson Barbosa, tells me, okay, here's the thing, we are concentrated, so we're not allowed to leave the hotel for 24 hours, so can you please get us the speaker? And I speak with the team manager, Arão, and he said, okay, these two players, Emerson Barbosa and Mateus Guedes, they are allowed to leave with you to the shopping to buy this speaker, as it's such important. Then we go, and we forgot it's Sunday, so it's closed, of course. Then the next day I have to go by myself, and Emerson gives me his credit card actually, so I go to buy this JBL speaker with this credit card and pin code. I was like, whoa, this is huge. He didn't know me 1 week ago. And we buy it, we go to the bus, and everyone's blasting music. It's huge.
É a história de passado e o presente só de glórias. Nascer, viver e no Santos correr é um orgulho que nem todos podem ter. No Santos. Santos, revolta do jogador. E meu tempo ganhou de mais que velho. De branco e preto. Eu tenho a satisfação de quem canta alegre para o povo. Viver e no Santos correr é um orgulho que nem todos podem ter. No Santos pratica-se o esporte com dignidade.
They win the game, I think, and I am actually in the team bus with the team, traveling with them, arriving at the arena. People are asking for autographs, pictures. So I was actually signing autographs just because I was part of the group to random kids. So there are some kids in Valencia who ask my autograph, and that's kind of sick. They don't know who the fuck I am. And then we go to a trip in Valencia with a bus just for sightseeing. We're going to the beach, shopping, just having a good time. It's me, the players, the staff, just driving around. We're visiting Mestalla, the stadium of Valencia. We're going to the club shop. We're going to the beach. It's fantastic. And yes, this trip was the best of my life. I was there. I got so many friends with these huge talented players of Santos under 20. It was huge. I remember I was in the lobby. Then Yuri Alberto, he was a huge talent. He was like the biggest talent there at the time. He comes down, he sees me in the lobby and said, "Oh, Andre, can you please translate for me? I don't have a fridge in my hotel room and I need one because we have been, they had been buying a lot of chocolate milk and stuff they need to have cold." So he asked me to translate to the person working in the hotel. Yuri Alberto is here. I'm talking Portuguese. I'm translating to Spanish with the receptionist. For some reason, Portuguese and Spanish, they just didn't mix. We managed to get a fridge up to his room, and I played a lot of FIFA with all the players, and we went swimming actually with the Santos under 20s and Levante under 20, who happened to live in the same hotel. It's just fantastic. Then actually they offered me money. The Santos team offered me money for my participation as I was doing so much stuff for them. I was in the training actually inside the pitch when they were practicing set pieces. They were doing all these kind of trainings and I was inside the fucking area, inside the box, taking pictures of the players, recording all the drills they were doing. I had player agents contacting me about footage from their games, from training, so that they could post on their social media. And all the players asked me to send pictures and stuff for their WhatsApp so that they could post on Instagram. And it was so many requests, so I was too lazy. I can't answer everyone and single out, "Oh, Yuri Alberto is in these 5 pictures. Guilherme Nunes is in these pictures. Marquinhos, these." I can't do that. I can't single out for every single player and send them. So I made a Dropbox and send all the players, "Okay, here's the links from today's training. Go find yourself, knock yourself loose. Here's the pictures." As I said, Santos offered me money for this, but for me it was huge just to be part of that, and they gave me all the meals for free. I was eating with the team. There's no way I'm gonna take money for this. So I said, no, I'm not gonna take money. I do this just for love. To me, this is huge. It was the best trip of my life. It was fantastic, and I got so many friends from that trip that I still have as very close friends today. And Arau, the team manager, he actually promised me a video message from Pele himself, just because he thought it was so cool that I was there to support him. And fast forward some months, Arau just calls me from the team bus when they're back in Brazil. The team had played a game, and he's FaceTiming me, and all the players are in the background, and he's like, oh, we're talking to Andre, and everyone gets like, oh, hi, whoa, cool, and they're gonna talk to me and stuff, and he said, oh, by the way, look at your WhatsApp, I'm gonna send you something. I was like, okay, and I look at the WhatsApp after we shut down the call, and there's a bloody video from Pele talking about me.
Alô, olha, você é o André da Noruega, mas aqui eu tenho o André de Santos. E o André de Santos tá vendo que eu tô cansado trabalhando, pô, me faz trabalhar para te mandar um abraço, pô. Pô, da próxima vez talvez eu dê pessoalmente, tá bom? Boa sorte para você.
And that was so huge. I actually started crying, and yeah, that is huge. After that, I've been following all the Santos games, watching them live. It's become my life. My big goal in life is to become the Santos president one day. I don't take that lightly, but that's like my ambition. In 2019, I was back in Santos again. Back in 2016, when I lived there, I went to all the Santos under 20, 17, under 15 games, and under 13 as well sometimes. And you had actually games with Rodrigo every single week, and you just knew this kid is special. And when I'm back in 2019 for a vacation, I'm in the train. Of the players now, as they were in the under 20s, and I lived with them. Some of those guys are now in the professional team, so I'm going to the trainings in the car of players and stuff. It's cool. We actually schedule a farewell lunch with some of the players before I go back, but I have a meeting with the marketing director of Santos in Sao Paulo 2 hours away, so I had to actually cancel the meeting with the farewell lunch with the players. But I'm gonna explain that story later in another video. Every Saturday I woke up at 7 in the morning to walk to the training facilities to watch the games of Santos under 15, 17 and 20. Rodrigo was playing, all that stuff. Many good players, and I just couldn't believe it. Sometimes it was pouring rain, and I was there with maybe 2 or 3 others. Sometimes it was sun, 40 degrees. Sometimes it was crowded. Sometimes there were no one there. Sometimes the matches were closed, but I was still allowed in. I also have this huge collection of match-worn and signed football shirts from Santos and other teams, but mostly Santos, of Neymar, Gabigol, Rodrigo, or those I have most. I've bought some of them. I've gotten a lot as gifts from players. You can see some of it behind me here. My collection started back in 2013 when I bought my first shirt. It was this one actually. It's a match-worn Neymar shirt from the Copa Libertadores, match-worn and signed. He wore this shirt against Corinthians in the Copa Libertadores. I bought the shoes as well, orange ones, really cool. But I'm gonna show my collection in another video. I've also been featured in a lot of news articles, as especially the Brazilian press thought it was very strange and funny that this Norwegian guy moved to Brazil on a one-way ticket to follow Santos, a team at the time struggling, not doing very well. There's not these big stars, and I was there just to follow my dream of supporting the team up close. And I remember actually the first time I was at the Vila Belmiro, Santos' famous stadium, I walk up from the locker room, because I did this tour, so you go by the players' locker room and you see like, oh, here's a picture of Gabigol, there's a picture of all the players, and then I recognize everything, because Santos always had this Santos TV with Neymar and stuff, where they showcase the locker room and the players singing, dancing and warming up before the games, and I'm like, oh my god, this is huge, I'm actually here. And I walk down the stairs and up the next stairs, and we arrived at the actual pitch, and I actually get tears in my eyes because I feel, oh my god, I'm finally here. I'm at the Santos Stadium. Pele played here. This is where Pele played, and this is where Neymar dominated and burst onto the scene a few years earlier. I couldn't believe it. I'm actually tearing up right now just by thinking about that moment, because for me it felt so huge to just step onto that pitch of the famous Santos. So that's a quick recap of how I became a Santos supporter. There's a lot of more detail we could have gone into here, but I'm trying to keep it short. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and subscribe so we can grow this channel. It's a cool new project. I'm gonna be posting some storytime videos. I think I have a few cool unique stories that I'm gonna be posting here. We're gonna be talking about young Brazilian talents. We're gonna be doing some vlogs when I go to matches eventually, when that's allowed again for me to travel to Brazil. I think there's gonna be a lot of cool content on this channel, so please tag along. And if you are really cool and want to support me, please share this video as well. I know it's a lot to ask, but it would mean a lot. And thanks for watching. Noruega out.